Hey guys, it's YOU WACK, and I haven't really brought in a advice tip video for Overwatch in such a long time, and it's because, well, Doomfist just came out, and I made a bunch of videos on him, and that's just what I love about my channel, is that I can bring, tip videos, or advice videos, or even sometimes funny moments, montages, and that's just what I love. But in this video, I am gonna tell you guys, and actually show you guys when to lose the point in Overwatch, and actually go in depth, and just kind of explain what's going on, and how the enemy team really did mess up, and how we just handed them a big ol' L, because I feel like just showing you guys the mistakes that they've made will really put a perspective on your gameplay, and maybe you will realize, oh my god, I did the exact same thing, and kind of improve yourself from there, rather than just me telling you guys you need to do this, this, and that. If I actually show you guys, then you'll improve yourself. Now, it's not the gameplay you're watching right now. I will show you the Volskaya industry gameplay, but you might be wondering yourself, why would I need to know when to lose the point? I mean, it's within good reason, but I feel like this is something that a lot of lower tier players really don't understand, but it's reasonably thinking, because you don't want the enemy to be able to advance forward. But what this allows you to do is to be able to group up with your team and set up a better defense, and you're going to see that play out throughout this whole entire gameplay, how the enemy team really didn't allow themselves to do that. They kind of shot themselves in the foot, because, well, if they would have set up a better defense, we wouldn't be able to steamroll through. And that's what you see a lot of these kind of more organized teams kind of do, right? They kind of go and take the point, they're all together, but the enemy team really isn't. They're able to steamroll through and capture the second point on, like, Temple, or in this case Volskaya or Hanamura, or even sometimes maps like Hollywood, Nubani, or King's Row, because, well, they have to respawn all the way in the back. That's one reason why I don't really like Nubani so much, is because, well, if you lose the first point and not get respawn advantage, then you have to respawn all the way back in the map and make that long walk. And if you play slow heroes like Mei or Azari or whatever, oh my god, it's just such a bad time. So that's why losing the first point, it can sometimes be beneficial to your team to be able to set up a better defense, stop the enemy team, and stop them from advancing farther than if you went and stalled on the first point, just died, and just allowed them to capture the first point anyway, and now you're all separated and you're respawning in the back. So let me just explain the gameplay, and let me just play it out for you, and why it's so important to lose the first point. So real quick, I need to talk about the team comp, because it kind of plays into the video, even though that the biggest factor in this gameplay is the enemy team. So on our team, the team comp is a Mercy, Symmetra, Genji, Hanzo, Winston, and Reinhardt. I don't know what the Symmetra was doing, especially on attack, but it doesn't play that big of a factor in the gameplay. More or less, me and the Winston and the Genji play the biggest factors. And on the enemy team, they had a Pharah, a McCree, a Reinhardt, a Mercy, Ana, and Diva. A pretty standard team comp. And you might be wondering, shouldn't the Pharah be able to just team wipe you guys since we don't have a hit scan? Yes, that's where the Symmetra switch would have been key, but you'll see how that really doesn't play the biggest factor in the game, just because of what takes place throughout the whole entire gameplay. So let's get into the actual gameplay. So I will show you the full clip, but I will show you like screenshots and go in depth with it. But here we're trying to take the first point of Volskaya, and you guys already know how hard it is. So we just got two important picks right here. We got both their healers. Now the Rhine was able to solo ult us, not solo ult, just get me in the Hanzo and kill both of us. Now we did get a little bit lucky with the Symmetra teleporter, but that really wouldn't have played too much into the game, because, well, I would have been able just to get back on the point just regularly, even without the teleporter. So that wasn't kind of a good job on Rhine, but it really doesn't matter because it was offset by the teleporter. Okay, that's fine. Now the Diva is kind of doing her job, just kind of stalling it, because there's not much that she could do. But what really plays into this game is what happened next and what happens with the Rhine. So I'm lagging a little bit. It doesn't really matter. I'm healing my team, but this is important. Why is the Rhine charging all by himself? First of all, just charging in because you leave yourself vulnerable. What was his plan? What was he going to change the game with? Okay, obviously the Mercy did get res, but wanna know who also has res? Me. I'm not getting focused by anybody. Sure, the Rhine is trying to kill me, but it's very hard for a Rhine to kill a Mercy all by himself, especially when I have awesome teammates that's protecting me. And what's so important about that res is because since I wasn't getting focused, any damage that the enemy team does put on our team, I'm able just to offset because of that res, and I'm gonna be able to build it up for the next fight. So now we're able to steamroll together. Besides the Hanzo, we're not gonna talk about the Hanzo, and we're gonna be able to have numbers over the enemy team just right when we get onto the point, and that's so important. So this Genji is just totally gonna frag out. It also takes a little bit of skill to get some kills, but this Genji is gonna get the Mercy, we're gonna get the Rhine, we're gonna get the Ana, and we still have numbers. We have this Winston, we have a Symmetra, we have a Genji. We're just gonna be able to kill anybody that kind of panic respawns and panic ults just like that Pharah. And this all kind of plays from that choice that the Rhine made, that the McCree made, that the Mercy made, all because they didn't choose to lose the first point and set up a stronger defense to defend us that's going in. I'm all hitting my mic, but this is really important because, well, it's all from that single choice that the enemy team made because they thought they could get the point, and it's understandable. But but here we're gonna be able just to kill everybody, and I have my ultimate again because I was able to build it, and I'm able to offset any damage that comes towards us from the enemy team, who's just kind of panicking at this point. And you can just see blues on tops of blues on tops of blues on the left side, just getting tons of kills. Sure, the Tracer is trying to kill us, but the Ryan's able to charge in, and we're able to get the points. Now, let me go in depth because that all kind of happened very quickly, and let me just highlight the most important parts that kind of played into the gameplay that kind of allowed us to get this point in under 2 minutes. Under 2 minutes, and you already know how hard it is to get the point of Volskaya. So here we are at the beginning of the gameplay again, and we are going to get 2 important picks, but here's another thing, is that the Reinhardt's literally all by himself, but me and Hanzo also are, and he's able to punish us. So that's actually really important kills, but it's able to be offset by the symmetric teleporter. But here is the most important part. This screenshot is just going to dictate this whole entire gameplay. We have 4 kills, they have 2. We also have the symmetric teleporter, which I want to stress that that's not the game changer here, really. It's not going to change the whole entire game. It does help a lot, but I would have been able to get the point just regularly, right? This is where the enemy team has to decide, okay, we don't have a symmetric teleporter, we don't have a mercy res, we should probably go back and defend the second point because, well, it's a what is it, a 4v2 in favor of us, and plus we also have respawn because we're on the attacking side, not to mention also the symmetric teleporter. So this, I just want to stress this screenshot right here. This is the most important thing that lower tier players aren't going to understand because, well, they don't want the enemy team to be able to advance. They want to stall, but that's just going to stagger your whole team for the rest of the game. So let me just play it out. So here me and Hanzo are going to respawn soon, but we are going to have the help of the symmetric teleporter. But the Ryan that did kill us, that would have been so helpful if he did have more teammates to help defend himself, which he really didn't. So, and I'm not trying to say that symmetric teleporter really didn't help. And here the diva really couldn't do anything. Okay, he's stalling out, she's doing her job, it's whatever, alright? I'm not trying to point fingers at her saying that she should have gone and went back to her team. No, I'm not saying that, and I have such terrible internet. But here is something I want to highlight also. Why, Ryan? Why? What? The big hero himself, the guy that's gonna save the day, he's gonna help save the point and kill all 6 of us, because I think all 6 of us are literally right here. He's gonna get demolished. Alright, no questions asked. You can just tell what's going to happen. He has no one to help him. He has no one to help support him, too. I'm sure he doesn't have a healer that's really close by. And if he does, well, the Genji is just going to kill that Mercy, kill that Ana, whoever's going to heal this run because, well, they're also separated from the rest of the team. So at this point, the Ryan made the decision and kind of shot the whole entire team in the foot by making the choice. I'm going to charge in. I'm going to try to get this point back when all 6 of them are right there. Do not be this Ryan. Do not be this guy because you will just ruin the whole entire game. Back off, set the defense, and just wait. Because not only is he just kind of wasting time, but he's also feeding our ultimates, which you're going to see throughout the whole entire game. So like I said, you don't need to guess what's going to happen. The Ryan dies, somehow the Pharah dies, and the Ana does die. Okay, the Mercy does come and save the day in res, but like I mentioned before, I also have res. So any damage that goes towards us, that kills us, I'm able to offset, and we're going to be able to still have numbers because I have confidence in our DPS. So like I said, I was able to res. The enemy team should have backed off a long time ago. I just wanted to quickly highlight this because, well, this is what having numbers is, why having numbers is so important, because since the enemy team was able to put damage into us, I'm able to res right there. That's my job, and I'm also able to build my ult for the next fight, which is so important. So we're gonna go. This is also another point I want to highlight too. So I don't know how the Hanzo died. I think he was asking for healing and I was kind of ignoring him. It's all whatever. So 5 people are going towards the second point. Why? Want to know who that is? That's a McCree, all by himself. Okay, the point was lost a long time ago. I don't know if he made the choice from respawn to try to get it, even though it was like at 85%. McCree, go back to your team. Go back. You're the main DPS, and you're also the most immobile DPS also. You're one of the slowest in the game, so you can't run away. You're not a Genji. You're not a soldier. You're not even a Sombra or a Tracer. So he's going to get taken out right away because he made the choice to try to get the point when he should have been at the point just waiting. So let's see what happens to little old McCree right here. He gets taken out. Big surprise. A big German man versus McCree. Maybe McCree can 1v1 a Reinhardt, whatever. But this is really important too. Since that McCree decided to die in front, now we're able to just have numbers of the enemy team for the second point. This point is so hard to take. It really is. But if you're able to go together as a unit, form ultimates, or just straight up kill the enemy team like how our Genji does, I think he does use an ultimate, I don't really remember, then you're going to be able to take this point no problem. That's just the biggest thing that a lot of even higher tier people don't understand, is that if you go as a unit and try to combine a Zarya ult and try to get the Mercy also so she can't res everybody, you're going to be able to take the point on Hanamura, or a Temple of Volskaya, or even on Horizon Lunar Colony, those 2 CP maps. So, but this is just a walk in the park because, well, the enemy team only has 4 heroes, and sure, they do have a Mercy, but our Genji is smart. He's going to focus the Mercy. So let's just kind of see how it plays out, even though you already kind of saw what happened. And the whole gameplay just kind of tells the story itself. We're going to be able to just frag out. Their Genji got the Mercy. I'm able to surprisingly live, even though the D.Va was kind of focusing. But also, here's another important thing that you want to do. First of all, don't panic ult. At that point, I knew, okay, we won the game because Pharah is ulting all by herself. She's one of the most vulnerable targets. But also, look right here. Genji's fragging out. We're just killing a bunch of enemies, all because of that first screenshot that I showed you. They were all staggered. They weren't together as a unit, and we're able to punish them because of bad positioning, bad decision making, and also bad ult usage. And also, I want to show you guys 87% till my resurrection. I'm going to use that kind of in an important way. You're going to see right here. So if we want to just continue on with the gameplay, it's just going to be us killing them over and over and over again. They're kind of just trying to stall out, just trying to hope for something to happen, even though nothing. Here comes the Ryan, the big hero himself, and he really doesn't do anything. Here comes the Mercy died too, so they have really no healing besides the Ana. Here comes the D.Va, big ult feeder. Granted, they do get 2 kills. McCree was kind of fragging out. I was able to offset any damage that came to us just to give us numbers over them. The Genji did die, nothing we can really do. Winston, this Winston was really good. I actually remember him, and we're just able to get this point. Sure, Tracer does try to stall out, but it doesn't matter because we were able to take the point on Volskaya. And the rest is history. Now, this last screenshot, I just want to show you, this is kind of the whole theme of what the enemy team were kind of doing. It was either 4 people were dead or 2 people were dead, and there's something wrong with every single one of those. 6 people weren't alive. The way that you kind of take control of the game is if you have 6 people, or sometimes 5 people if maybe the Genji or a soldier has ultimates. So sometimes, yes, you can take the point if you have like a soldier ultimate or a Genji ultimate, but 9 times out of 10 you want to try to defend as a unit because you're going to be able just to kill someone that's out of position, which happened a lot throughout this whole entire game. The McCree, the Reinhardt, the Mercy was in the back, but the Genji was smart because, well, I'm going to focus the Mercy because I can flank around. So really, this whole entire gameplay just kind of showed you guys when to lose the point, why you need to lose the point, and when you need to set up a better defense, especially on 2 CP maps or even payload maps that have a point like Kings Row, Hollywood, New Bonnie, whatever the case may be. So hopefully this video did help. I know I went in depth with it, but there was a lot of details I need to talk about. So love you guys. Thank you guys for watching. More Overwatch videos to come, and bye.